The top two teams in the best basketball conference in America. Duke and NC State clash again with all eyes on the upstart Wolfpack. Player of the Year candidate Julius Hodge challenged by the rugged #1 Duke defense. Another exciting showdown. ACC neighbors and bitter rivals in Raleigh next.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops.
A sellout crowd of nearly 19,000 jam-packed into the RBC Center in Raleigh as the top two teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference collide. NC State ranked in the AP poll for the first time in 14 years, winners of 4 in a row. Standing in their way of 5 straight, the #1 team in the land, Duke. The Blue Devils have won 18 in a row and have not lost in conference play this season. We welcome you to ACC Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Staples, #1 Duke and #21 NC State. What a crowd, and hi again everybody, alongside Mike Jaminski. I'm Tom Brenneman. Great to have you with us. Mike, when the season began, I don't think many people believed that NC State was the second best team in the ACC. As of today, they are. And to review, how have they done it?
Well, they're a very unconventional team to play against with that Princeton high post offense. And what they do is they invert everybody. They bring their bigs out. They're all capable three-point shooters. They start the offense above the free throw line, and they really open up passing lanes to the basket. So we talked about three-point shooting, a barrage of threes. They averaged 24 attempts per game. They made 14 in a win against Florida State here last week. And then if you get fouled, they put you at the line. They are the best free throw shooting team in the nation. 80% as a team, and Tom, they do all those things much better here at home.
And of course, the man they lean on each and every night, perhaps the ACC's Player of the Year, Julius Hodge.
Well, and he has played well. He's a Player of the Year candidate, as you said, but he has struggled against Duke. He only had 7 points in the game at Durham. The guy who gets the defensive charge there, Chris Duhon, he wants to try to keep the ball out of Hodge's hands, and he wants to try to limit his penetration. An interesting matchup, the two best defensive teams in the conference.
Duke, meanwhile, it's amazing the consistency this program has taken on under head coach Mike Krzyzewski, the best perhaps in all of America. But their play year after year in this league, Mike, is spectacular.
And the way they've become a dominant team is winning on the road. You look at their numbers, virtually the same home and away, scoring dead even, shooting 48%, 37% from behind the three, and they rebound better on the road. Now the guy who's right at the middle of that, leading scorer in the ACC, J.J. Redick, shooting the ball lights out right now. And the guy who gets the charge of stepping him defensively, Scooter Sherrill, a heck of a matchup.
Well, when we return, if you can believe it, this place is going to be louder when we return. Dwayne Ballin will preview Julius Hodge, perhaps the ACC's Player of the Year in what has been an amazing year of ACC college basketball.
Amen, let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Living in this crazy world, so caught up in the confusion, nothing is making sense for me and you. Maybe we can find a way. There's got to be solution. How to make a brighter day. What do we do? We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more than before.
Over 40 years ago, AYSO had a radical idea about girls soccer. Let them play. Now every weekend, girls play soccer with passion. And with the right kind of support, anything can happen. AYSO, great soccer starts here.
You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war, you could touch a bad dog banging on his door. You can throw your hands
I'm a polarizing fire starter. Counter. Here's my problem with what has happened, and we have deep-rooted issues.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops is presented by Staples. That was easy. And brought to you in part by Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. By MSN, life's better with a butterfly. Come see how at MSN.com. And by Kyocera, the new value frontier. These two schools separated by 20-some miles between Durham and Raleigh, North Carolina. So Duke, a short trip to take on their in-state rivals. We take a look at the UPS starting lineup. We begin with Duke, and I know you like Luol Deng, the freshman.
And coming off an injured hip, we'll see how that goes. But 20 points, 2 of his last 4 games.
Meanwhile, for NC State under head coach Herb Sendek, 15-5 so far this season. And there you get a look at Julius Hodge. We've talked about him, but Marcus Melvin, a big part of their plan.
I think he's a barometer. When he scores in double figures, Tom, 13-1 for the Wolfpack.
Take a look at our Staples G-Man game plan for this one.
When you look at it, Duke needs to win the battle of the lines. They need to keep NC State off the free throw line, and they need to clean up at the three-point line. For State, a positive assist to turnover ratio, 20 turnovers in the loss at Durham, too many. They've got to keep it under 15.
Well, that was a rout, the first meeting on the 11th at Cameron Indoor Stadium, 76-57 Duke. Reddick had 20. And we talked about Julius Hodge, 7 points, 7 turnovers, and fouled out.
And I think you look at this, it's a great atmosphere in this building, Tom. And NC State, I got a feeling Duke may try to throw a knockout punch here early to try to take the crowd out of it. NC State needs to hang in there, get off to a great start, and get through the first 2 TV timeouts.
Sheldon Williams, Marcus Melvin to tip it off. State controls the opening tip. Julius Hodge with a basketball, defended by Chris Duhon. Backdoor cut. Melvin wasn't ready for it. Looked like a pretty good pass by Ilian Eftimov.
It's just, too many bodies. And, Tommy, again, we talked about getting off to a good start. Make a pass that you're sure of completing.
Duhon to the basket, can't get the layup, and Hodge with a rebound. He is Mr. Everything for NC State. Melvin can fire.
When Marcus Melvin gets off quickly, he has big games. Luol Deng chased that rebound down, was not back in transition. Marcus Melvin wide open.
Melvin over the last 6 games averaging 16 per game. The Duke Blue Devils. What a remarkable record as a starter, 86-12. Ewing had it blocked by Hodge. Eftimov getting a start. He has been coming off the bench of late. First time in the last 7 games Herb Sendek has not gone with the same starting lineup.
Well, and they need Eftimov to get going offensively, not shooting well from the three-point line.
I think they're going to call Melvin for the push. Eftimov, despite coming off the bench, averaging almost 28 minutes per game. So whether he's actually starting for the opening tip or coming off the bench, he's going to be on the floor.
No question. And he's going to play starter minutes, and he's going to finish ball games. So the starting thing is just something for the paper tomorrow.
Three-second violation on Sheldon Williams.
Duke feels like that's a matchup they can exploit. There really are not many big bodies on this NC State team. They wanted to try to get Williams involved early offensively, but they just stood in the post in the lane too long. You have to keep that 3-second count in your head. When you hit 2 and you haven't gotten the ball, you've got to get out.
Mike Krzyzewski just celebrated his 57th birthday 2 days ago. And what a phenomenal run he has had at Duke. Hodge gives it up to Axel.
We talked about Julius Hodge doing everything. He's got a rebound, a block shot, an assist in this game, so an impact. And Engin Atsur may be the X factor for this NC State ball club in the second half. He is really coming on.
Triple team Williams. Out to Lou all day. Too strong on the three. And NC State will get it.
We talk about the supporting cast and the cut right here, and he posts up trying to go in against a smaller Duhan. He gets help in the form of Reddick, but really nobody covering up that weak side. That was a great look by Julius Hodge.
Well, Hodge second in the conference in scoring, third in field goal percentage, sixth in assists, eighth in rebounding. He can do everything very well.
And is the emotional leader of this team. He's much better when he lets the game come to him, especially in the scoring column.
Atsur working on Williams in the left hand. What a start for the Wolfpack.
Ilyan Eftimov has really added that little sweeping hook shot to his repertoire.
Reddick to the glass, short.
And that's what teams have tried to do against Reddick lately. Jam him, take away the three-point threat.
Atsur travel.
And we should have this highlight in the black and white. The little sweeping hook shot. You don't see that too much anymore. And with the offhand too. What a great move by Eftimov. I think more big people should learn how to shoot the hook shot. Tom's a great post move.
Starting to seem like you and I have seen Eftimov a great deal. The more you watch him, the more you like it.
And it's going to be a process. He's still, I think, getting in the comfort zone coming off the torn ACL. And I think it's going to be all year before he's all the way back.
Shot clock at 10. Duhan to the basket. Williams a rebound and Duke on the board. Sheldon Williams, a sophomore out of Forest Park, Oklahoma, comes in averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds a game.
We talked about getting the first TV timeout. Duke is trying to do that right now, and great start, but all that basket starts with penetration.
Eftimov right by Williams and missed the layup.
Didn't look like he had his steps right, but he's also been doing that more. Instead of shooting the three, he'll pump fake and put the ball on the deck.
Well, that was a prime example of what you talked about a few minutes ago. A very unorthodox style of offense by NC State. Sheldon Williams having to defend a guy 25 feet away from the basket.
Hey, centers love to be in the post banging a stationary target. When you've got to go out 20 feet, get in defensive stance and guard a driver, it's not what you normally do.
Hodge with a left hand.
They gave Hodge a little isolation play that time. The whole left side of the court was cleared out.
Scooter Sherrill, the shadow right now of J.J. Reddick. They are setting screen after screen after screen to try and loosen things up for Reddick, and he cannot shake Sherrill.
Well, here it is. This is the problem that NC State poses. You've got a big guy with the skills to put it on the floor. Allen Iverson-esque with the crossover, but he wasn't able to finish the play.
Hey man, let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it into center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Steve Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Sharing
everybody's always talking about our offense. It seems one way or another, it's always a hot button topic, but it's a fun offense. It's a wide open offense. It gives players a great deal of freedom. It really allows players to develop their complete games because there's no such thing as a position on our team.
Well, and this is the complete game right here. We talked about Eftimov. He's put the ball on the floor. He can shoot it from outside, and old-fashioned hook shot right there. Beautiful move, and NC State really came out and set the tone, Tom, in this game, a 9-2 lead. And it's exactly what they need to do, and you see the shooting right there. One of the things that, you know, Herb talks about his teams, and everybody talks about their offense, nobody talks about their defense, and they're second best in the conference, and Duke's 1 of 7 from the field right now.
Well, Herb Sendek has certainly had more than his fair share of critics here in Raleigh during his 8-year tenure. But back-to-back years, he's taken the Wolfpack to the NCAA tournament, and here they are, making great distance between themselves and the rest of the conference for second place.
No question. And this game, I think, would really go a long way to establishing in their own minds how good a team they really are.
Reddick to the basket, and fouled by Julius Hodge. You know, it's hard to believe. We talked about it last week as the Bank of America, higher standards, takes a look at the ACC. But the teams behind State, Mike, you and I talked about this morning, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Maryland, all those teams by and large have been ranked all year. NC State just cracked the polls this week.
Well, and you think about all those teams were living off of victories against non-conference opponents, and then that's where the rankings came. And then as the conference started, they started beating each other, and NC State now has put a little separation between themselves and the other 7 teams.
J.J. Reddick, the second best free throw shooter in the country by 1/1000th of a point. He is second to Blake Ahern of Southwest Missouri State.
Mike Krzyzewski trying to get his team fired up. A little full court pressure, just one trap and out.
Traveling violation against Atsu.
Well, an interesting switch now. Herb Sendek also, they took Scooter Sherrill off of J.J. Reddick. He's back on him now. Hodge was, they're going to throw a lot of different bodies, I think, at Reddick. And we'll watch during the course of the evening how much he runs within the framework of their half-court offense.
Williams in traffic. The jump hook. And Sheldon Williams with a pair of baskets.
Well, and they've been frustrated. Williams has been frustrated. He's done a nice job posting up, but Duke has been unable to deliver the ball to him, and they need to exploit that out on the floor.
Scooter Sherrill, senior native North Carolinian, defended by J.J. Reddick. Hodge got bumped. Was looking for the whistle and never came.
Chris Duhon deceptively strong in the low post, and Duke letting him go one-on-one with the taller Hodge.
Luol Deng from three-point land again, and off the back of the iron and over the backboard.
Here's the look. They've been trying to get Hodge in on the post, and you can see no double team help coming, even though repeated dribbles in the lane.
Shadwick Randolph, whose grandfather was an All-American here at State, has just checked in for Duke. And on the takeaway, Sean Dockery, the sophomore from Chicago, lays it in.
Already 5 turnovers for the Wolfpack. Not a good sign for them, even though they've got the lead, Tom. That one was just a lapse of concentration. Eftimov took his eye off the basketball, and it went through his hands.
Quick 6-0 Duke run. And the Blue Devils down by 1. Backdoor cut. What a pass from Melvin to Sherrill.
And Marcus Melvin looked like Peyton Manning on that play. He was pointing and directing people to move, and when you move in this offense, good things happen.
Daniel Ewing, crossover dribble, gives it up to Duhon. And he lays it off for Williams, and again the jump hook. This time it won't go. Randolph the rebound in traffic, and a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Duke.
So here's the look. He's right here. See the point, and everybody's stagnant on this side. Well, Sherrill's going to come up to the top and then backdoor cut to the basket. Beautiful play. You know, it's tough. You know, usually in the offense you don't draw it up like that and tell the other team what's coming, but that's exactly what Melvin did, and then pulled it off.
Duhan has had a terrific career as a Duke point guard, the only Duke player with over 1,000 points, 700 assists, and there's an assist for Duhan as he gives it up to Ewing, who bangs in a three, and Duke has tied it up.
And he's kind of the X factor in this offense on the perimeter. Everybody talks about J.J. Redick, but Daniel Ewing, all he did was win the MVP of the ACC tournament last year.
Melvin working on Williams all the way to the basket. He's a left-hander and gets it to go.
Well, we saw a game against Georgia Tech. Marcus Melvin led a 16-point comeback after halftime and did most of it in the post. And he's got a nice little low box game and wanted to spend a lot of time this year kind of refining that game.
Duhan to the basket, had it rejected by Levi Watkins, and then off Duhan.
Well, it's Duke that is one of the best shot blocking teams in the nation, but Levi Watkins, Duhan looked like he had a clean run, but what a terrific defensive play. And then there's the look inside, posting up against Sheldon Williams. Marcus Melvin showing you his diversity.
Rated E for everyone. And you knock that damn thing down.
One of my teammates looked at me and said, you're too tall for football. Now, of course, I wasn't.
When you recruit them, you got them for life. You can't get rid of them. Some of them you might want to get rid of.
This may look like a few dollars,
but it's way, way more.
To a foster child, it's a pathway to extracurricular activities.
To join the soccer team.
To keep up in school.
To explore new places.
Make new friends.
And just be a kid.
It's a chance to build confidence.
Learn new stuff.
Get ready for college.
Maybe even go to prom.
Visit tickettodream.org and learn how you can help foster kids just be kids.
Come on now. Speak for yourself. All I'm saying is...
Throw the scripts out. Listen, Whitlock, I'm a polarized fire starter. Whitlock has created a fire. This corrupt system.
Calm down.
Stop. I am what I am.
Coward. Here's my problem with what has happened in the American media. We have deep-rooted issues.
Howard, who goes to a stadium looking for an opinion?
Here comes the Twitter avalanche. That's the way you do it.
Fox College Sports.
T-Flex.
Rated E for everyone.
Now we go to FlexShopper.com whenever we need anything. We scored a new 4K HD TV for just $20 a week, an Xbox One for $19 a week, and a tablet for $10 a week.
Start shopping now at FlexShopper.com.
Thank you.
Kindness. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life. Go Rockets!
The more they raise their hands out there, the more they'll raise their hands in here. Good Sports gives kids the lifelong benefits of sports by providing equipment to those most in need. Donate today, because kids who play do better.
It's always great to have Dwayne Ballin with us here along Tobacco Road, where you make your home, Dwayne-O.
That's right, Tom and Mike. I actually live in Durham in the Triangle area, and so I have a front row seat to the white-hot passions that are flowing between these major universities, Duke, North Carolina, and North Carolina State. And I can tell you, for North Carolina State fans, it's been like sitting back in your own town and watching a big parade go by, and you don't have a float in the parade. And that's the way it's been for maybe the better part of 15 years, as they have watched Duke and Carolina ascend to the very top of the national rankings in college basketball. And for them, this is so big, and it's been slow in coming, and it's almost been as though state fans in this area really haven't believed that this was happening. They're still pinching themselves collectively. But I'll tell you something, if they pull this off tonight, batten down the hatches in Raleigh.
In traffic, Scooter Sherrill with an offensive rebound and missed it. Of course, Mike, you spent a number of years in the Triangle as well during your days at Duke. The passion for basketball, obviously it's talked about a great deal in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but with three schools in 20 miles of one another, it's remarkable here.
Right, and it's a win here would make so many doubts go away. I mean, I think there are still NC State fans. Dwayne talked about pitching themselves. They don't realize where their team is. But this would be a statement win for Herb Sendek and the Wolfpack, beating the #1 team and really solidifying themselves at the upper echelon of the best conference in the country.
NC State in front by 2, closing in on the 7-minute mark here in the opening half. Duhan right by Marcus Melvin and missed a gimme.
Well, we talked at the open about how consistent Duke has been home and the road, and just not shooting the ball well in this game. Only 31% in the first 13.5 minutes.
Julius Hodge getting a breather. Eftimov going to the left hand. This time a spin move on a head fake and missed another. That's the second layup that Eftimov has missed in the game so far. You can't miss shots like that if you're going to beat the #1 team in the nation.
You're right on with that comment, and it's unfortunate. I talked about having confidence in the legs, and he looks like he just doesn't have lift here. A beautiful pump fake inside, and then just left it short, and the look of anguish on his face afterwards spoke it all.
Hodge right back in there, and an offensive foul on Hodge, and that's number 2.
And for this game, when you have to save your fouls for the defensive end of the floor, it's tough to pick up an offensive foul in that situation. Had the whole lane covered, and when you just dip that shoulder, you're going to get the call every single time.
Dang again from three-point land. Off the mark, and a foul underneath against Sheldon Williams. And for Williams, that'll be his second personal. Boy, Ding, 3 shots from behind the arc in this game. Now, he's shooting 35% on the year, but that's not one of the stronger parts of his game yet, is it, Mike?
No, and, I think that's a shot that he takes when they're going well offensively. But right now, Duke is struggling to shoot the ball, and you don't, J.J. Redick shooting you in from there, fine. Maybe Daniel Ewing, but, Walden probably needs to get to the basket a little more and get some rhythm.
Williams having to sit down with the 2 fouls. Hodge still in there with 2. And Randolph back in for Duke. Good hustle there by Duhan, getting to the floor. Shot clock at 10. Melvin lets it fly. Bingo.
And that's when NC State usually makes their threes. And on a quasi turnover, when the defense gets scattered, Duke was in scramble mode. Nobody got to Melvin.
Little fadeaway by Redick. And that's his second basket. Although I tell you, with 5 minutes to go here in the opening half, Sherrill has done a fabulous job defending J.J. Redick.
And he did on that play. I mean, just a great shooter trumped you with a great shot. I mean, it really was nothing more you could do on that play.
Eftimov going to go to work on Randolph, beats him to the basket, lays it in. That is a mismatch all night long in favor of NC State. when their big people have to guard Ilian Eftimov.
Well, and here's the difference on the play. All the other ones he went off short, he went off with 1 foot. Now on this drive, he comes to a jump stop, gets a solid base underneath, and look at all the room that Eftimov has. 2-foot stop right there, better explosion on the play.
And again, NC State, the #1 free throw shooting team in America. 79.7%.
But only their first attempt of the game. They've got to get there more often and utilize that weapon.
Tell you, excellent coaching already here by Herb Sendek. We talked about some of the critics in this part of the country, Mike, for Sendek in his 8 years at NC State. But a subtle move right there, isolating Eftimov, knowing full well that Duke is going to play man-to-man, and he thinks he has a chance to exploit that matchup.
Absolutely. They really did a great job spreading the floor. The whole lane was unoccupied. And I'll tell you what, yeah, he has his critics, but one of his supporters is sitting over on the Duke bench. Mike Krzyzewski came out this week and made some very strong comments in favor of Herb Sendek and the job that he has done.
Well, you consider that Sendek, one of only 7 coaches in ACC history to take at least 3 of his first 7 teams to the ACC tournament title game. The first in 20 years since your former head coach Bill Foster did it in your days at Duke.
Fond memories there, and you know, and again, he lived under the shadow of Dean Smith for a lot of years. Dean Smith was at his height during Coach Foster's years at Duke, and similar now with Herb Sendek and Mike Krzyzewski.
Ewing to the basket, glides, and this is the high arcing shot. May have gotten away with a walk. Rebound to Melvin on the Reddick miss.
5 rebounds for Marcus Melvin. Solid job first half.
Blocking foul against J.J. Reddick.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, this is as good an NC State crowd as I've seen in a long time. This is an NCAA tournament. This is an ACC tournament final crowd.
And a marvelous facility they opened here in Raleigh, leading, of course, Reynolds Coliseum, where you played many, many times.
And they still play 1 game a year there, and I think that's good. Keep that tradition.
Second time Duke has fallen asleep on an inbounds pass.
Tell you, shoot around today, NC State worked very hard on their inbounds play, something they've had trouble with over the course of the season, but they have been rock solid in this game.
Remember we said, when Melvin scores in double figures, NC State this season is 13-1. He has 10 points right now.
A questionable shot that time by Dockery. Again, not a great outside shooter, and a quick 3 early in the shot clock.
Hodge had it rejected by Ewing. Last touch by Duke. Time out on the floor. What a start for the 21st ranked team in the land, taking on the #1 team in the nation. A cool shooting night for the Blue Devils. Surprisingly, they've been out-rebounded. And State lighting it up against a very stingy Duke defense.
You can be...
Rated E for everyone.
Every Sunday on the World Poker Tour, the best poker players in the world compete for huge cash prizes in the prestigious WPT Season 16 Cup.
What a legendary final table.
Who will be next?
And with that hand, that's going to do it.
Join Vince, Tony, and Lynn for the World Poker Tour.
One of these players will become the next WPT champion.
All season long, Sundays on Fox Sports Networks.
Something's not right. My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
talk about Marcus Melvin as a barometer for this. Lines are looking positive for this game. The senior forward, 10 points already in double figures, 4 of 5 from the floor. He's done it from the outside. He's done it from the inside. 5 rebounds to lead NC State in that category as well. And we have just seen the total package from Marcus Melvin having a terrific night.
Melvin, a senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, third-year starter, and he has gotten better and better and better every single season.
He's only known victory once against the Blue Devils last year in the win here, so you know he wants to finish out his senior career with a home win.
Shot clock down to 5, and there's Melvin, and again his third 3 of the night.
Talk about the ability to pick and then pop. Most big guys dive to the basket. Marcus Melvin can do that, but he just ran for the three-point line on that play.
An 11-point lead for NC State. Reddick to the basket, leans in, won't get it to go. Another rebound for State. No second chance baskets for Duke.
18-9 advantage for the Pack on the boards for the worst rebounding team in the conference. See the run right there, 14-2, and Duke looks out of sorts offensively.
Melvin tried to force it in, out of bounds.
Now Marcus tapping his chest right here and just out of control offensively. If you leave your feet, he just tries to make a pass. They talked about it today, not giving up your dribble until you have somebody to throw to, but look at that pick and pop back on the three-point shot.
Whistle and a push will go against NC State. You know, Duke is trailing here by 11. Mike, it is amazing. During this 18-game winning streak, the Duke Blue Devils have trailed for a grand total of 28 minutes out of 725 plays.
That is pretty astounding. Well, that's how you fashion it right now. Duke having trouble getting the ball in, forced to burn a timeout. The time again, I'll say the intensity of this game is incredible, but the pace really is favoring NC State right now. This is heading to be a very low-scoring affair, and NC State can't outshoot Duke. But right now, they're doing a great job defensively, and this game they have complete control of at this point.
Well, Duke has won 29 of the last 33, but last season here in Raleigh, the Wolfpack snapped a 13-game losing streak to Duke with an 80-71 victory.
And Julius Hodge, a terrific game. Senior Cliff Crawford scored 21 points in that game. They shot the 3-ball very well. They made 9 threes in that game, which was a huge key. But a big win, and you see the crowd celebrating as they should.
Get a look at the Duke scoring. Ding, who averages 14, shut out so far. Reddick with 6. And a reach-in foul against Scooter Sheriff.
His second, and again, an unnecessary foul, I feel, Tom. He's going to have to save himself for Reddick in the second half. He doesn't want to pick up his 3rd foul right here. And he got caught on a reach-in and Dockery out front where he really wasn't doing much with the ball.
Reddick in traffic, could not get it to fall off the glass, and NC State yet another rebound. 19-9 edge on the glass for the worst rebounding team in the ACC.
You know, and they have to rebound as a unit, and they are doing it in this game. And we talk about no shot blockers for State, but how many easy shots has Duke gotten at the rim? There are just a lot of white jerseys there, and they make the shot attempt difficult.
Duke started 1 of 7, then hit 5 out of 8, and only made 1 of their last 10. There's a Duke takeaway. Dockery takes it himself. Not there. Stripped out of bounds, State ball.
NC State, one of the things they're underrated at is transition defense. And here it is, it's swarming. You got Melvin leading Reddick into the lane, and then Evtimov just getting a body there and making the shot attempt difficult, and then they clean up the glass.
Herb Sendek, well aware that NC State has not won 5 consecutive ACC games in a season since 1974. Sherrill up under the basket. I believe he stepped on the baseline.
We talked about Duke winning the battle of the lines. And right now, NC State, the big number, the three-point shooting, 4 of 5, very efficient.
Duhan, the floater in the lane, and the senior has his second basket, 5 in the game for Duhan. Well, he's hit some big shots for the Blue Devils this year. The big 3 against Florida State. And, of course, coast to coast in overtime to beat North Carolina.
I don't think there's any question that, at the end of the game, he has proven to be their go-to guy.
At Schuler draws the foul. Mike Krzyzewski waiting on the official who made the call, saying that Atzuler led with the left arm.
You know, it's funny. I think you look at this game and how it's being defended, that both teams are very conscious of the other as a three-point shot, and that really, you know, State 4 of 5, but they're really jamming people out on the line when they can, and they're forcing people to put the ball on the floor, both teams.
Ingin Atzuler from Istanbul, Turkey. Like brought up earlier, played in the European Junior World Championships for the Turkish national team and scored 22 per contest, and now just starting to get into the mix after missing a handful of games early on.
Ryan, he had the reputation as a big-time outside shooter, but I think showing everybody here in Raleigh that there's much more to his game.
Duhan going to the basket, defended by Mike O'Donnell. And he'll go to the free throw line.
You get the sense that the senior point guard, Chris Duhan, knows that his team is struggling, and he's trying to be a little more aggressive in the last few possessions.
That's why you love having a senior point guard. Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, not at all, especially a guy who has won a national championship. So he just brings so much to this team, and he has become the heart and soul and the leader of this ball club.
Duhan, a 63% free throw shooter. You know, we mentioned the only Duke player ever to score over 1,000 points, 700 assists, 250 steals. I mean, he has had a solid career. The offensive numbers, they don't light you up, but he has been a solid and at times terrific player.
Well, how about, you know, to me, he's won 87% of his games.
Right. That's all that matters.
You know, 9 out of 10 times you're going on the floor, you're winning. That's pretty astounding. Duke, with their defense, they were able to get into a full court pressure off those free throws. 11th turnover of the game. That's pretty astounding fact, considering that NC State has a 9-point lead in this game with that many turnovers.
Betterman run over by Reddick. No call. The crowd jumping to its feet. And now NC State the other way. Atzuler gives it up to Betterman.
And Betterman, who has struggled offensively for this team. Good things happen when you get out and run.
A push by Atzuler. That'll be his first.
And this is a really well-run. Talk about Atzuler, a freshman. Court awareness, knowing where everybody is. He had O'Donnell out on the right wing as a shooter, but chose to give it to Betterman to finish inside.
Betterman gets very little playing time after getting a lot of playing time at the end of last season. And now Daniel Ewing. He's played with an injured right foot the entire year, Mike. But what a player he's been by and large coming off the bench.
Right, he's just felt better over the last month or so. It really affected him and affected his shooting. Early on, he had to wear a special boot inside his shoe. But you know that's going to affect your offensive numbers when you can't elevate.
Kyocera halftime show coming up with Mike and Larry. A busy day in the Atlantic Coast Conference and around the nation in college basketball. Wake Forest getting a big win out of conference against Cincinnati today. And North Carolina trying to end the hex of the Maryland Terrapins. (33-23) our score. Timeout. Next Sunday, the world's best drivers return to Fox for the Subway 400 at the Rock. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Tony Stewart leading the field. 17 weeks of NASCAR returns next Sunday for the Subway 400 only on Fox.
And congratulations to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Some emotional win down at the Daytona 500, carrying on his father's legacy.
Let's check in with Dwayne Ballard.
And Mike, earlier this week in an article appeared in the Raleigh News and Observer, Cheryl said some things about J.J. Redick that frankly were unfortunate, challenging his manhood to a degree, and it was a poor choice of words. And Cheryl later admitted that it was a poor choice of words. I asked J.J. what he thought about it. He said he didn't give it any thought, that he had a right to say whatever he wanted to say. I think it underscores, though, once you get to a certain level, you're in a big game, you're ranked, all of a sudden everything is magnified. And the way you handle yourself on this stage that you're not used to is something you have to be very careful about. But it's more fuel for the fire, and no one's surprised given the flames fanning between these teams.
Cross-court pass, and there's Cheryl. Final seconds, Redick lets it fly, and the three goes down. J.J. Redick's first three-pointer of the opening half. Herb Sedek livid that no call was whistled against Duke for running Cheryl over before that final try. Nonetheless, an NC State 10-point halftime lead. The 26 points equals the lowest output in a half by Duke this season. NC State trying to knock off number one. Let's send it back to Atlanta with Mike and Larry.
By far the largest deficit that Duke will have to overcome in the second half. Alongside Larry Connolly, I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome inside our college basketball studios here in Atlanta. Coming up on the Kyocera halftime show, we go on the break. Down Tobacco Road a bit. Maryland at number 14, North Carolina. Could the Heels be halted? Descriptions and discussions are all coming up on the Kyocera halftime show.
Hey man, let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it into center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go,
go. However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Come on now, speak for yourself. All I'm saying is...
Throw the scripts out. Listen, Whitlock, I'm a polarized fire starter. Whitlock has created a fire. This corrupt system.
Calm down.
Stop. I am what I am.
Cowherd. Here's my problem with what has happened in the American media. We have deep-rooted issues.
Howard, who goes to a stadium looking for an opinion?
Here comes the Twitter avalanche. That's the way you do it.
Living in this crazy world, so caught up in the confusion. We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself. Stand in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame.
It's a beautiful
Kindness. Pass it on.
Thank you.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops is presented by Staples. That was easy. And brought to you in part by NikeBasketball.com and by Bank of America, setting higher standards. Welcome back to Raleigh. Sellout crowd for ACC Sunday Night Hoops, and NC State a 10-point lead over the #1 team in the nation. Our Kyocera halftime numbers. Look at the rebounding numbers.
Well, and I'll tell you another topic of conversation. NC State 61%. Duke getting lit up in this game, and that's negated the 11 turnovers. If you're NC State, you're not going to shoot 61% probably in the second half. They need to take better care of the basketball to preserve this lead.
We talked about before the game got started how Julius Hodge would need help from some of his teammates if they were going to knock off #1, and they certainly have gotten help. Hodge has gotten help from a trio of especially Melvin and then Cheryl and Atzur.
22 combined points there. 7 different Wolfpack players have scored.
Let's check in courtside with Dwayne Ballard.
Well, Tom and Mike, I talked to assistant coach Chris Collins for Duke. He told me they were concerned with playing a little smarter, and frankly, they're not defending well. They think that's the real difference. They're not defending, especially along the perimeter. And as far as NC State goes, I asked Coach Larry Harris, assistant coach, what do you guys want to do? He smiled and said, we just want to keep doing the same thing we're doing. We don't want to change a thing.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. Immediately, they go to the interior, and it's knocked out of the hands of Sheldon Williams. That front line of Duke really struggled in the first half.
Well, and that time, NC State again swarming to the basketball, causing the turnover.
Batted out by Melvin. Reddick will run down the loose ball, and Reddick lays it in. He's fouled by Cheryl, and that'll be #3 on Scooter Cheryl.
Turnovers to points, 12th of the game. And anytime you get a turnover going out this way, the pad out and the defense just can't rotate back quickly enough. And Tommy, either you take a hard foul and send them to the line for 2, or you lay off that play, but you don't give a 97% free throw shooter a 3-point opportunity.
Reddick 3 of 3 from the line here tonight. Now 94 out of 97 on the year. Wow.
It's amazing when you can vividly remember each of your misses.
Atzur all the way to the basket and lays it in.
I tell you, that middle has been wide open for NC State, and Duke has been unable to keep them from breaking them down off the dribble.
Williams demanding the ball underneath, working on the smaller Eptimov. They don't get it to him. And then Duhan forced the pass, and it's taken away. And here's Eptimov isolated on Sheldon Williams again. Backdoor, and a foul will be called on Reddick.
This is something that State has done, and you can see the space right here. And instead of having cutters going through, they're giving that guy out front a little count to work off the dribble. And it is working very well. The Duke in the back line, very slow to come over and help.
There's another backdoor cut, and Hodge will go to the line. Mike, you and I saw NC State beat Maryland in College Park 3 weeks ago. It may have been the best game that you and I have ever seen NC State play.
No question about it. I think it was a huge confidence builder. And Duke had talked about living with backdoors in this game, and Hodge is going to get to the free throw line. I just think Duke so concerned with NC State's ability to shoot the 3-ball. They've only got 6 3 attempts in this game, but they've made 5, and they're doing very well, getting in and getting layups and getting to the free throw line.
Right, Julius Hodge, an 84% free throw shooter, misses both tries. Reddick, bang from 3-point land.
The State coaching staff talked about if you're not in J.J. Reddick's space when he catches the ball, you're too late. Scooter Cheryl got hung up just for an instant on that screen, and it gives him enough room.
Atzur pulls up and pulls the trigger. It's short. Now Duke a chance to get it down to 4, if not 3. Crowd thought Duhan walk. We're going to call a block on Scooter Cheryl, and that is number 4.
Big foul early in this game, and then you see the little bit of a moving screen there, and Cheryl just got into it. It looked like Reddick slipped, but Cheryl got into him too much with the body and picked up the foul.
Well, make a notation. 38-32 with Sherrill going to the bench at the 18-minute mark. Dang the miss. Williams couldn't find the handle.
Now the responsibility falls to Cameron Bennerman to pick up J.J. Redick and try to put the fire out.
Redick knocking down the three to begin the second half. 15 points. He averages 17 per game. And now a foul holding against Duhan.
Well, look at J.J. Redick, uses the screen so well, and he is in constant motion in the half court. And also, just enough space by running him off of 2 screens gives him time. But it's movement without the basketball that gets him open shots.
These are big possessions, aren't they, Mike, early in the second half for NC State. Duke already a quick run.
And we talked about first 4 minutes of the game, first 4 minutes of the second half, critical.
Up to Mark. Back it in. The jump hook. Yes, sir.
Big time move, and with Scooter Sherrill out of the game, a primary scorer, other people have to step up and make big offensive plays.
Eftimov giving away nearly 3 inches to Sheldon Williams on the interior. And they lob it into Williams over the top. And he falls down. And are they saying he was fouled?
And here's the look, and we've seen this hook shot, and I don't know that Sheldon Williams has had a block shot in this game. The leader in that category in the ACC, and it's the old-fashioned hook shot that has been very effective for Ilyan Eftimov.
Boy, Herb Sendek just beside himself. The last 2 Duke players to touch the ball. He thought Williams walked, and he just thought the Duhan walked. And Duhan from way downtown with a 3.
Tommy, that was 30-plus feet from him. He was close to our broadcast position when he rose up for that shot.
Well, Duhan only a 29% three-point shooter.
Well, senior leadership. He sees his team struggling a little bit offensively, so he's going to carry a little bit more of the load.
Lead down to 5. Hodge able to maintain control, and here's Eftimov again. Great move, and then missed his 3rd layup of the game.
And had Marcus Melvin wide open out on the wing.
A 3 for Duhan again.
Well, you know, I talked to Duke coaches before the game, and they talked about Duhan as their MVP, no question about it. And you're seeing why right now in this little 3-minute stretch. He has put this team on his back, and he has carried him back into this game. And now NC State, you talk about critical possessions. This crowd rocked back on its heels a little bit. They need to do something positive.
Down to a 2-point game. And Eftimov for 3. In and out. He has been stone cold from three-point land over the last 10 games. He's only hit 5 of his last now 33.
Yeah, and why take that shot? You're having success inside.
Again to the basket. Got a little too far underneath it when he attempted to lay it up. They lob it up top. Not a good pass by Atzuler, and Duke with a chance to tie or take the lead. But they turn it up. Quick start for the #1 team in the nation. They were down by 10. Now it's 2.
And points in the paint. This is where NC State has been successful. They've relied on the jump shot here in the second half. They need to go back into the paint.
Amen. Let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it into center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented the facts.
Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were constant tingling in my toes.
Double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Over 40 years ago, AYSO had a radical idea about girls soccer. Let them play. Now every weekend, girls play soccer with passion. And with the right kind of support, anything can happen. AYSO, great soccer starts here.
Whitlock, I'm a polarized fire starter. Counter. Here's my problem with what has happened. We have deep-rooted issues.
Number one, Duke 40-38. One of the reasons why NC State is leading, one of the factors we talked about at the top of the telecast. Engin Atsur is helping out tonight offensively. He was a young man who they found in Turkey. Rather, he found them, to be correct, because his father sent over videotapes of him. NC State's coaches had heard about him through the scouting combines and some of the magazines they had read. But his father sent videotapes. Assistant Mark Phelps went over to take a look at him, came back and told Herb Sendek, what we saw on the videotape is what I saw live. This guy is very mature beyond his years. He's been involved with the national team over in Turkey for a number of years since he was a young man. So therefore, they're really impressed with his poise. And I asked Engin about that, and he said it's just always something that's been a part of who he is. He's also a very good student. He's on the dean's list, and his father's an engineer. Academics very important to him, and he believes that he can be a major contributor here. Tom and Mike, right now, he's showing what he can do.
No question, and Atsur made a starter just when conference play began and has made the most of it. Here's Eftimov. There's that hook. Hodge with a rebound, and with the left hand lays it in. It's 60% of Hodge's games over his career. He has scored more points in the second half than in the first half.
Almost 60% of his offense comes in that time, lets his other teammates get involved.
Redick wide open. And short.
I think too wide open.
So you're right.
He's used to guys flying at him.
Hodge on Duhan. And got it to go. Wow.
Well, Duhan has lifted his team, and now the first All-ACC team player, Julius Hodge, is starting to pick up the slack for NC State. They needed a spark, and he's giving it to them.
Redick off the screen, defended by Betterman. Finds Duhan, who passes up the open look for Dang, and Dang his first bucket of the game.
Talked about how he had been banged up, a hip pointer coming off a bad fall in their last ball game, but shaped up nicely, kind of hit along the baseline, and then made himself a target.
NC State with a 10-point lead at halftime. It's at 4. Just under 14 minutes to go in front of a sellout crowd here at the RBC Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Atsur had it stripped on the way up. Good defense there by Ewing.
You like the attitude of Atsur driving it in, but you get a hand on the ball and it goes straight down. It usually indicates good contact. Here's the look. You talk about what penetration does, and Duhan opting not to launch that three. The defenders inside lost track of where Deng was along the baseline.
Deng just getting his first points a moment ago. Just 1 of 6 from the field so far. Hodge pulls up. Short on the jumper.
Duhan had a hand in that play too. I think maybe caught a piece of the ball on the way up, which caused Hodge to shoot it short.
And now Deng will sit down. Duke going to go a little bigger up front now with both Williams and Randolph on the floor. Scramble for the ball, possession arrow. NC State will get it.
Mike O'Donnell, the freshman, not the biggest guy in the world, but is very scrappy on this ball club. Attacking the ball handler. You see the dribble will come in here. O'Donnell having a sense of where the ball is, the help coming back, a great play. That's just great court vision and awareness of where the basketball is.
Well, the only guy O'Donnell's bigger than is me. Maybe in the whole building.
He's waiting for you to come in so he can post up.
That come off again, defended by Williams. And lays it off for Hodge. It's a 4-point game. Hodge waiting for Williams to double. He came to get it, and then Eftimov misses the three. O'Donnell bounce pass to Betterman.
Cameron Betterman playing pretty well defensively against Reddick and also a factor in the scoring column with 4 points.
Betterman chasing Reddick, dribbles into the paint, had it stripped away by Eftimov, and then Betterman.
We talked about that matchup, but since Scooter Charles left the game with 4 personal fouls, J.J. Reddick has not scored in this game.
Levi Watkins, spin move on Randolph, picked up his dribble, had it rejected. That's the first rejection of the game by Williams. But NC State able to handle a flurry of punches by Duke and then get off the mat. The Wolfpack leading by 6.
Amen. Let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in at center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
The Keys, it's a lifestyle. I'm usually on the water by the time the sun comes up. I want to go out there and relax. I don't want to be talking football.
I'm at risk of thinking there's just no point in trying.
I'm at risk of looking in the mirror and hating what I see.
I'm at risk of being told not to tell.
But with Girls Inc. in my corner,
I will not be another statistic. I will fight for myself. With you in my corner, I will win.
Fuel her fire and she will change the world. Girls Inc.
Proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
Constant tingling in my toes.
my legs, sometimes I'll go numb.
I had double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Well, the beginning is the hardest time.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was a dancer. I don't see walking the way I walk any different than doing a dance. It just looks different. It's a different dance.
You see me have an off day, it doesn't take away from who I am.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
But I would exercise every day.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
To make a lot of changes in my life and just adapt to it.
I'm going to acknowledge its presence. I'm not going to discount it. But at the same time, I'm going to try my best to not let it stop me.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Kindness. Pass it on.
Thank you.
Due to time constraints, we will move ahead in our coverage following this commercial break on Fox College Sports.
No cat.
Amen. Let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Every Sunday on the World Poker Tour, the best poker players in the world compete for huge cash prizes and the prestigious WPT Season 16 Cup.
What a legendary final table.
Who will be next?
And with that hand, that's going to do it.
Join Vince, Tony, and Lynn for the World Poker Tour.
One of these players will become the next WPT champion.
All season long, Sundays on Fox Sports Networks.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Interesting question, and there's a nuance to it.
In the spotlight with Fran Healy.
She would say that all they got to do is crack the door for you, and you knock that damn thing down.
One of my teammates looked at me and said, you know, you're too tall for football. Now, of course, I wasn't.
When you recruit them, you got them for life. You can't get rid of them. Some of them you might want to get rid of.
In this crazy world, so caught up in the confusion. We got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better.
This may look like a few dollars,
But it's way, way more.
to a foster child, it's a pathway to extracurricular activities.
To join the soccer team.
To keep up in school.
To explore new places.
Make new friends.
And just be a kid.
It's a chance to build confidence.
Learn new stuff.
Get ready for college.
Maybe even go to prom.
Visit tickettodream.org and learn how you can help foster kids just be kids.
Over the last, Blue Devils 10-1, NC State undefeated when Julius Hodge does the same. But because of the supporting cast, Reddick, even when he's under 20, the Blue Devils win. That's not the story for NC State.
No, much different right there. 8-12 when Hodge is under there. But a big difference tonight, Tom, that other guys have stepped up and helped Julius Hodge. Now, he's come alive in the second half, but you see the next three scorers have scored 28 points for the Wolfpack. The next three scorers for J.J. Reddick, only 17 there.
Falling down is Scooter Sherrill. Williams nearly lost it out of bounds, and now Duke with a shot clock at 21 will reload.
If I'm J.J. Reddick, I want to try to put some pressure on Sherrill off the dribble to defend and pick up that fifth foul.
Now the switch off, and they have a mismatch underneath, but Duhan going to take advantage of his foot speed over Evtimov and beats him to the basket.
Evtimov saying, hey, I usually do that to people, but the senior, the recognition, you've got a slower defender on you.
Chris Duhan now with 17 points. Duhan only averages 10 per game. That'll be a foul against Sheldon Williams, and that's number 4 on the Duke sophomore.
But you want to talk about a pure point guard. He's primarily a distributor on this team, Tom, but he recognized his team was in trouble offensively. He's got the ability to step up and fill the void, and he's done it with this game. He had 2 stunning threes early in this second half to get his team back in the ball game, and now he's done it off the drive. So a terrific night offensively for Duhan. 10 in this half.
Williams will leave with 4 personals. And I believe Marcus Melvin may have a cut on his right wrist. And he's going to have to leave the game while they address that, and Levi Watkins will come in for it. Meanwhile, Evtimov headed for the free throw line, and if you weren't with us earlier, NC State is the best free throw shooting team in the country.
Well, you look at it, Tom, and that's that, but it hasn't helped them tonight. They've only taken 6 free throw attempts in the game. There you see the number just ahead of Arizona and Bowling Green. But Duke has kept them off the free throw line, and that was a big factor for them coming into the ball game. In this 4-game winning streak, NC State has averaged 25 attempts from the line, so they're well below that pace.
5-point game. Deng with a basketball, right baseline, working on Watkins. Brown thought he walked. Randolph with a rebound, and he missed everything.
Now they picked up the foul on Deng, that time coming over the back.
Shavlik Randolph certainly has to be a mystery for that man, Mike Krzyzewski. I mean, there are games you watch Randolph play, and he'll throw in 20 points and come away with 8-9 rebounds. And then there are games like tonight. He's only a sophomore, but they've needed him to pick up his game tonight, and so far he's not been there.
No, and you know, I think it's a case with Shavlik that he's still getting used to that new body. I mean, he's gone through so much physically. He had the hip surgery in the summertime and put on 30 pounds, and that's a lot for a kid to go through in his body and try to find himself. So he may be a half a season away, like we talked about Eftimov with the injury.
Hodge hit them both after missing 2 tries earlier in the game. Lead at 7.
Impressed by NC State. Duke tried to come out and throw a bolo punch in the beginning of the second half, and they've responded.
Redick to the basket, kisses it in, and J.J. Redick has reached a 20-point mark.
Yeah, see, you had to recognize that. He's got to put some pressure on Scooter Sherrill to defend.
A little jawing going on right now, right in front of us between Hodge and Duhon. And then Hodge missed on the alley-oop attempt from Eftimov.
Hodge would have been better served to catch that and come down and get his balance instead of trying a circus shot.
Ewing dribble penetration, and a blocking call will go against Watkins.
Here's the look. Let's follow J.J. Redick around the screen. He sees that Sherrill right there, and Sherrill just kind of waved at him and did not come in on the play. He's walking a fine line between being aggressive and picking up a silly foul.
Now Daniel Ewing. 1 of 2 from the line so far. Now 2 out of 3.
And here's the guy. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Ewing.
Yeah.
We talked about being an MVP last year in the tournament. He's giving up a lot of points in this offense. There are a lot of places where he could be playing right now and be a 20-point scorer. But he is a very integral part of this ball club, and he understands he's got a chance to win a championship by ceding some of that offense to other people.
Ewing hitting both free throws. 3-point game. Under 6 minutes to go. Absor from 3, can't get it. Melvin Class touched it. Duke basketball. Now a little lull here in the crowd. They're trying to get back into the game. State is led by and large the entire night. Dang work.
Marcus Melvin doing a nice job staying down on the pump fake and just using his body, keeping his body between the basket and the ball.
9th turnover for the Blue Devils. Now the Wolfpack with a basketball and a 3-point lead. Eftimov all the way to the basket. Randolph trying to draw the charge.
Well, and if you come up empty, it's just an automatic 2 points.
Redick got caught in the air. Take away by High with Ewing to beat. And he can't do it. Tried to tip, missed it. That's a big miss right there for the Wolfpack.
Against a team like Duke, when you have opportunities like that, you must convert.
So Eftimov missed 3 layup attempts in this game already tonight. Ewing may have forced that one early in the possession.
No, I couldn't agree. And there was no board coverage either for Duke. I think he surprised his teammates by taking that shot.
Eftimov Dribble alive, and then what?
We got a NC State got a timeout.
Herb Sendek leaning on the official. He was looking for a bump there out at the top of the key. 63-58. 4:12 to go. Can State knock off number 1?
Go.
Rated E for everyone.
To those most in need. Donate today, because kids who play do better.
Thank you.
Kindness. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
For many of the North Carolinians, that rivalry much bigger than this one.
Hodge had it deflected on his way to the basket. Duke pushes ahead, nearly turned it over, and run down by Ewing. And Duke does turn it over.
Atzur was hurt on that play, got up, made the deflection, and then went back down. Tough kid. I think he got hit in the stomach, and that's what knocked him down initially, but remained in the play and got the turnover.
Timeout on the floor. Less than 4 to go in Raleigh. And the Wolfpack leading Duke by 5.
Something's...
Rated E for everyone.
Anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. It's a beautiful
Kindness. Pass it on.
Thank you.
My focus on a daily basis is the men in our program, and certainly we're very proud of the tradition at NC State. As great as those two programs have been down the road historically, we can't slight them, what they've accomplished. We have a lot to feel good about here at NC State, and I think our alumni and our fans and university need to celebrate those things rather than worry about the accolades that others get.
No, absolutely right. And, you control the things that you can control. And right now it's Herb Sendek, the coach here, and that's all he's concerned about.
Trying to go to 3-18 against the Blue Devils. Remember, NC State knocked off Duke here at the RBC Center last year. Our Staples game summary, a poor shooting night so far for the Blue Devils. An extraordinary shooting night against one of the best defensive teams in the nation.
And against one of the best shot blocking teams, the points in the paint 32-18, but that's because NC State gets you spread out, and they've had Duke shot blockers away from the basket most of the night.
Tomoff just puts the head down, goes to the basket. He's done it all night long.
Much more difficult for Sheldon Williams to get a block on his own man, and Tomoff using again that little hook shot very effectively.
Reddick lets it fly. And bodies litter the floor. And I believe the foul is going to be against State. It is against Ilian Tomoff. That's his first and the team's 7th. So Duke headed for the free throw line. 1-on-1 situation, and Sheldon Williams, a 64% free throw shooter, has not been to the line tonight.
And this is where Eftimov is going to have to summon some courage here, because he is going to have to bang against Williams on the offensive glass.
Controlling the basketball, defended by Duhan. We're closing in on 3 minutes to go, and State with a 7-point lead over the #1 team in the country. That'll be a bump underneath against Duke. The Blue Devils' 8th team foul. Mike Krzyzewski's team, winners of 18 in a row. And they have absolutely and thoroughly dominated everybody by and large during the win streak. Their average margin of victory over 20 per game. We mentioned they are closing in on trailing more minutes in this game than they have collectively during the entire 18-game winning streak.
They've clearly been the #1 team in the nation, and back-to-back misses on front ends of 1-and-1 for both teams, resulting in empty possessions.
Whistle against State. That'll be against Marcus Melvin. And the basket is good.
4 fouls on Melvin, 4 fouls on Sherrill. Those are the only 2 in real danger right now. And Luol Deng turning the tables. We talked about his ability to put the ball on the floor. It makes him a tough cover.
So 4 for Melvin, 4 for Sherrill. And Deng, 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Deng hits 1 of 2, and Ewing with a big offensive rebound, and then Reddick turned it over. Hodge got a timeout.
That was a fractured play that could have wound up as a 3-point opportunity for Duke, but they get their 10th turnover of the second half on the play, and it's because Hodge is committed to getting down on the floor first.
2:36 to go. It's a 6-point Wolfpack lead.
You can be.
1, 2, 3.
Amen. Let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in at center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
I kind of get bored with things and I move on. I was at Oklahoma State for 5 years, at the University of Miami for 5 years, Dallas Cowboys for 5 years. The best time of my life is right now. The Florida Keys, it's a lifestyle. I'm usually on the water by the time the sun comes up. I want to go out there and relax. I don't want to be talking football.
The more they raise their hands out there, the more they'll raise their hands in here. Good Sports gives kids the lifelong benefits of sports by providing equipment to those most in need. Donate today, because kids who play do better.
Ilya Evtimov has been a huge key in this game. Tommy Heinsohn smiling someplace with the hook shots that he's run out here in this game. Has taken Duke's bigs out front, put the ball on the floor. Tommy's only had one double-figure game in his last 5, but he's got 13 here tonight, and he's rewarding Herb Sendek for that surprise start.
Yeah, Evtimov was a starter early in the year. Come off the bench, had Evtimov over the last 6 games. But obviously a gut feel by Herb Sendek that he was a man to get back in that starting lineup, and it's paid big dividends tonight. Evtimov with 13 and a feed there to Melvin, who's hacked by Ewing.
Well, I think that Evtimov has taken some unnecessary chances with passes tonight, but this was a beautiful one inside, and he saw that Melvin had a much smaller cover on him in Daniel Ewing, and you have to respect the shot. Deng with his arms down that time, so it was easy for Evtimov to see over the top and make that play. I think Luol Deng has to be more of a factor with his arms bothering the vision of Evtimov up top.
State missing some big free throws, and again to repeat, if you're just joining us, this is the best free throw shooting team in the country at nearly 80%. Tonight, 7 out of 11.
But Tom, no statistic for playing the #1 team in a close game with 2 minutes to go at the free throw line. The dynamic changes.
Melvin, another double-double here tonight, 17 and 11. And NC State has only lost 1 game in his career when he had a double-double. Kick it out to Deng for 3. Luol Deng had missed on his first 3 three-point attempts tonight, but a big one there with 2:08 to go.
Freshman?
Freshman.
Playing like a freshman. Big shot. Chris Duhon, we talked about distributing. He's going to get other people involved, and it was this drive that brought Marcus Melvin in, and all Deng had to do was finger the seams. Beautiful stroke on that play. Here's the look inside. Again, you'll see drive. Melvin having to step up right here. That's a great play by the senior Duhon.
Our Bank of America higher standards, taking a look at the top 20 teams in the country, 4 of which reside in the Atlantic Coast Conference. North Carolina a winner earlier today. Wake Forest a winner earlier today. Will Duke be knocked off as #1? We'll know at 2:08, if not more than that.
Herb Sendek 1-5 in games coached against #1s.
That only win came against North Carolina. Backdoor cut to Sherrill in traffic. Can't get it, but Evtimov the offensive rebound behind Deng.
On great smarts by Evtimov to recycle the clock instead of trying a tough shot inside. He buys 35 more seconds.
Under 2 minutes to play here in Raleigh, and NC State with a 4-point lead. Duke on 18-game winning streak. The Blue Devils have not lost since November the 29th against Purdue. Shot clock down to 8. And Hodge gonna have to take it himself. Pitches it off to Melvin. Forced that one and missed everything. Not a good possession there for State after getting a second fresh possession following the offensive rebound.
You know, I think they've got to start their offense with about 15 seconds to go, especially against a team that's good defensively as Duke, to give yourself a little margin for error.
Deng in traffic, and he came over the back after the miss.
Evtimov is just fighting for his life out there. A little undersized for the people he has to guard.
That is the 10th team foul against Duke, and Evtimov going to the free throw line. He's 3 of 3 tonight and has hit on 41 out of 54 this season. NC State at 8-2, all alone in second place in the Atlantic Coast Conference, trying to pull within one game of the conference lead, and at the same time beating the team in front of them, the Duke Blue Devils.
And I firmly believe, Tom, that we talk about defining wins, and the season that NC State has had has been terrific. But this win would define their season, and I think you'd see a huge boost in their confidence.
Left them off, hitting them both. He has 10 in the second half. Crowd starting to smell it. Sherrill with a rebound. And he'll go to the line. Scooter Sherrill, his first trip to the free throw line, the senior, has hit on 34 of 39 for the year.
Well, and here's the difference, Tom. We talked about Duke's comeback win last year in the finals of the ACC tournament. That NC State team had a 15-point lead and started celebrating way too early. They know a different story. It's a more mature NC State team that's going to try to finish this ball game off.
Sherrill hit them both. Under a minute, State by 8. Reddick from way downtown. Can't get it. And Duke the rebound. Ewing to the basket. Fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line.
That's what happens in endgame situations. J.J. Reddick with the long three. There was the long rebound, and Ewing right there.
Well, you talked about Mike Krzyzewski certainly singing the praises of Herb Sendek in a column during the week here in Raleigh, saying that Sendek has done a fabulous job at NC State and should be more appreciated by the Wolfpack faithful. He said, I hope he has a terrible night of coaching against us tonight. But clearly, Herb Sendek, the biggest win, Mike, maybe of his career here tonight?
I don't think there's any question about it. You know, to come in and play number one, and what it does, and it's you don't want to use the word loosely, but validate all the things that have gone on this year. He comes in and gets a win against this team, then all the doubters have to go away, you know, at least for the short term. And it's, like I said, defining moment. And now this team has to go, and Marcus Melvin picks up his 5th foul, so they've got to work through the rest of this game without him. And that was a great huddle for Herb Sendek.
Marcus Melvin is fouled out of the game. A double-double for Melvin. They needed him to step up, and he did tonight. Bennerman will check in, and Ewing going to the strike. Down 8. Not sure exactly, Mike, what the holdup here is. The officials meeting at half court, 2 of the 3. Perhaps concerned about the crowd, which continues to inch closer and closer and closer into celebratory fashion.
And that's, you know, unfortunately, I mean, you love to see the crowd be able to revel in this, but it's a situation where guys can get hurt. I'm not a big fan of the crowd storming the court. You know, you celebrate where you are, get the teams off the court, get at least the away team off the court first.
Well, consider this. Where I live in Arizona, a high school basketball player last week hit the game-winning shot. He was run over by a mob crowd and is in the hospital partially paralyzed right now. And certainly our thoughts and prayers with that young man down in Tucson, Arizona.
I read that story and thought about the same thing. We've seen it all too often. Just mayhem on the court afterwards. Too much downside to it.
Now a 2-possession game. with 45 seconds left. They try to get it in bounds, and they do to Sherrill, who's immediately double-teamed and can't fight his way out of a double team. It calls a timeout.
Well, that was a great job of Duke double teaming without fouling in that situation. I'm sure that Sherrill thought that he was going to get hammered immediately.
NC State from the free throw line on NC State light, 12 of 16. Take a look at our Kyocera play of the game.
Marcus Melvin really getting this team off to a quick start, and I think when he does that, they get confidence from him. Another double-double for the senior. Did foul out, but really a terrific effort.
Well, certainly Melvin playing the best basketball of his career over the last 6 games. Hitting on nearly half of his three-point attempts, and he takes a lot of them for a big man, and has averaged almost 17 points per game and 9 rebounds per game. Full court pressure again by Duke, and Betterman's the man they probably like to put on the line. They get it to Sherrill. He's fouled by Duhon. If I'm Duke, I got to foul Betterman before I foul Sherrill.
Yeah, he's 7 of 8 on the year, but only 8 attempts, and he has never been in a situation like this to finish a ball game. So pretty good call on your part.
But you know what Mike Krzyzewski's thinking here. I mean, not only do they have to get the ball in bounds, but you know, maybe you can force a 10-second call by locking down on a couple of traps.
I'll tell you, and Scooter Sherrill has done a nice job massaging through those 4 personal fouls and staying in the ball game.
Sherrill, the best free throw shooter this season for NC State. He's hit 3 of 3 tonight.
And they've been solid after some misses early in the last minute and a half of this ball game. They've been solid.
And Sherrill hit both.
Huge 3-possession ball game.
Betterman called for the foul against Reddick, and JJ going to the free throw line with 31 ticks remaining.
Again, a mistake. Herb Sendek wanted to push off on that play, but you got to walk that fine line between being aggressive and putting a 97% free throw shooter at the line and stopping the clock.
Mike Krzyzewski's run at Duke, nothing shy of spectacular. We talked about NC State last time they knocked off the #1 team, another one of its neighbors, the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Mike Krzyzewski getting Sheldon Williams out, getting another ball defender out there in the form of Sean Dockery.
NC State has never beaten Duke when Duke was the #1 ranked team in the land. 0-8. But trying to change that in 31 seconds from now. A 2-possession game again. Trying to get it in bounds, and again having to draw the foul, I beg your pardon. That'll be on Ewing, and that's number 5 for Daniel.
Well, and the importance of free throw shooting, Tom, and you know, in this game in tournament time, and that's what's really going to serve NC State well. I mean, you start to look at what the strengths of a team are, and it's really carried them through this last minute or so.
Duke opened the season back in late November with wins over Detroit, against Pacific, and then hammered Liberty. The Blue Devils lost November the 29th against Purdue, 78-68. Since then, the Blue Devils, during an 18-game winning streak, their margin of win 20 points per game. They trailed by a total of 28 minutes over the 18 games. They shot 49%, forced over 320 turnovers, with 180 steals. I mean, they have overwhelmed by and large everybody. But here is NC State, right behind them in the conference and 31 seconds away from knocking off #1.
And I'll touch on again, I think NC State's defense very underrated. I mean, everybody talks about the Princeton offense and how unconventional they are, but Duke 80 points a game, and they are 14 shy of that right now. I mean, NC State has really played this game to their tempo.
11 second half points for Julius Hodge. who now has 15 points in the game. Got them both. Under 30 seconds left in Raleigh.
NC State's going to switch everything on the perimeter.
Whoa! And Redick from 35 feet out. Double team, no less, hits a three.
That's the thing that's frustrating about J.J. Redick. I mean, he just pulls up from areas that you don't think somebody can shoot from. Even on the switch that time, he timed it perfectly. Eftimov a little shy about coming off. Redick drives him back with one hard dribble and then steps back, a little like Michael Jordan on that play. That's what you do against a big. He's slower. He's going to not react as quickly. And even with Hodge right there, Redick buries it.
25 to lead all scorers in the game for J.J. Redick. See each team with a full timeout remaining. 21 seconds left in Raleigh.
Is it the quietest 25 you've ever seen?
They've come in spurts, you know, over about 2-minute spurts, which of course Redick could do every night and does do every night. They get it into Hodge. It looked like Redick lost his footing. And Sherrill for the basketball, fouled by Duhan, clock down to 16.
Redick really unhappy with that no call, but you know, referees, especially at home, very rarely are they going to bite on that.
Sherrill has only missed 5 free throw attempts all season. He's perfect tonight, 4 of 4.
What a way for the seniors, you know, so there's more to their career. But to have a senior year where you've got Duke's scalp in your belt as a #1 ranked team, both he and Melvin are going to remember that for a long time.
For NC State, this would be their best start in conference play since 1974, when they went undefeated in back-to-back years in conference play. Redick again fouled, and it's too strong. He'll go to the line shooting 3.
I mean, you can't even be close to fouling in that situation. The freshman Atzur making a huge mistake. Get a hand up and pressure, but don't even come close to this. Trying to reach in.
Boy, if that goes down, a chance for a 1-possession game. .11 seconds left. 6-point NC State lead. Redick trying to knock down all 3 and pull him within 4.
J.J. Redick trying to become the first guy in ACC history to lead the league in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage.
Amazing. Amazing. Hit all 3 of them. 4-point game. Eftim off the trigger. And just throws it up there, and it's intercepted by Duhan. Dockery to the basket. Got it to go, and the Blue Devils have pulled within 2. 7 seconds left to go.
The man taking the ball out of bounds has got to have poise in that situation, and Eftimov throwing the errant lob inside. You'll see right. You'll see this. You got to keep a little shot clock or the time going in your head. Duke did a nice job of switching there, cutting off defenders, and then you'll see the lob to Sherrill out front, not far enough, and Duhan makes a great play.
And then Dockery hit a tough shot.
Crowd just stunned right now. Well, Herb Sennett, you've got to draw up a play right now where you've got 4 receivers available here.
The Blue Devil bench reacting to the steal, and then the bucket by Dockery to bring them within 2. 7 seconds left. This is the #1 team in the nation.
And that's where the confidence comes in about finishing ball games. NC State in a little bit of uncharted waters here. Let's see how they finish in the last 7.
Lee Melchione has checked in for the first time tonight for Duke. foul will be against Melchione on Julius Hodge, who will go to the free throw line. We mentioned earlier Hodge came in shooting 84% from the stripe on the year. Missed his first 2. He's hit his last 4.
Well, these are the 2 free throws right here. Hit them both, make it a 4-point game. This is where all ACC and Player of the Year candidates make their name right here. NC State has now made 12 consecutive free throws in the last 2 minutes.
That's stepping up.
Got to finish the deal here, though. 3-point ball game.
Ooh, as Al McGuire used to say. Under 5 to go. Duhan lets it go. Out of bounds. 2 seconds left. The celebration is on in Raleigh. NC State has knocked off #1 Duke. This is ACC basketball, and this is Tobacco Road basketball.
Tom, a defining win for the NC State Wolfpack and Herb Sendek. And they did it with their strength at the free throw line. A little bit of a blip at the end. It was a turnover and made it close, but did not miss from the line in the last minute and a half. And a great defensive effort, too, by NC State.
Let's go downstairs to Dwayne Ballard.
Well, I'm down here just near the NC State locker room. Julius Hodge at the line. Biggest game of your career, and you delivered.
Definitely. I had to. My teammates, my son Marcus fouled out. He wanted. He told me, Jules, make your free throws. And I've been telling little man all day, my little nephew, got to do your push-ups, got to work on your game. Only 5 years old, going to be the best player in the country one day.
And you know what? Your nephew just watched his uncle beat #1, Julius.
Yeah, we beat them. If they #1, then now we #1 according to rankings. But we don't want to take none of that. We want a good game against a good team, and we're still humble, and we don't want to be ranked. We want to be out of the top 25 because we're still hungry. And when we're hungry, we eat.
Congratulations, Julius Hodge. Let's send to the studio and Mike Goldberg. Mike, big win here for the Wolfpack.
It certainly is, and I think Tom Brenneman said it right, Larry Conley, as we welcome you into the Kyocera postgame show. ACC basketball, Tobacco Road basketball, and if you're not from that area, you don't understand the magnitude of joy that NC State is celebrating with right now.
Well, they can't celebrate for too long because this is a basketball team that has to get prepared for the rest of the season. But tonight, enjoy it, guys. It was a great win over a very good Duke team.
Herb Sendek beats a #1 Duke team for the first time in 5 tries. And next week on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, once again, Julius Hodge, his nephew, will be around. And NC State, they go non-conference hosting Washington. The nightcap from Atlanta, #20 Wake Forest and Chris Paul against #15 Georgia Tech, led by BJ Elder. Our coverage begins with the Kyocera tip-off show at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Stick around, lots more coming back.
Rated E for everyone.
Girls play soccer with passion. And with the right kind of support, anything can happen. AYSO, great soccer starts here.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented the facts.
Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the
civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
I acquired a lot of fans being an Earnhardt. I was never going to be the intimidator and all those things that he was, but I could do it my way. I take pride in the fact that I've done some good things on the track and off the track to maintain that fan base, if not grow it.
This may look like a few dollars,
But it's way, way more.
to a foster child, it's a pathway to extracurricular activities.
To join the soccer team.
To keep up in school.
To explore new places.
Make new friends.
And just be a kid.
It's a chance to build confidence.
Learn new stuff.
Get ready for college. Maybe even go to prom.
Visit tickettodream.org and learn how you can help foster kids just be kids.
Come on now. Speak for yourself. All I'm saying is...
Throw the scripts out. Whitlock, I'm a polarizing fire starter. Whitlock has created a fire. Stop! I am what I am.
Calvert, here's my problem with what has happened in the American media. We have deep-rooted issues.
Something's not right. My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
my legs, sometimes I'll go numb.
I had double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Well, the beginning is the hardest time.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was a dancer. I don't see walking the way I walk any different than doing a dance. It just looks different. It's a different dance.
You see me have an off day, it doesn't take away from who I am.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
But I would exercise every day.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
To make a lot of changes in my life and just adapt to it.
I'm going to acknowledge its presence. I'm not going to discount it. But at the same time, I'm going to try my best to not let it stop me.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Welcome back. Final minutes of the postgame show. Larry, your final thoughts. A big win for NC State.
Absolutely. Stanford moves into #1. The question is, where does Duke fall? Do they fall behind St. Joseph's, or do they finish up #2, at least for next week?
Number 21, NC State. It's a final. They defeat #1 Duke 78-74. So the upset is complete. It's a huge win for the fans in Raleigh, North Carolina. Herb Sendek beats a #1 Duke team for the first time in his coaching career. It snaps Duke's 18-game winning streak. They had won 13 straight in the ACC. Marcus Melvin, a dynamic way to go out as a senior. NC State the victor. You have been watching the Kyocera postgame show. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Amen. Let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Every Sunday on the World Poker Tour, the best poker players in the world compete for huge cash prizes and the prestigious WPT Season 16 Cup.
What a legendary final table.
Who will be next?
And with that hand, that's going to do it.
Join Vince, Tony, and Lynn for the World Poker Tour.
One of these players will become the next WPT champion.
All season long, Sundays on Fox Sports Networks.
This may look like a few dollars,
But it's way, way more.
to a foster child, it's a pathway to extracurricular activities.
To join the soccer team.
To keep up in school.
To explore new places.
Make new friends.
And just be a kid.
It's a chance to build confidence.
Learn new stuff.
Get ready for college. Maybe even go to prom.
Visit tickettodream.org and learn how you can help foster kids just be kids.
Go Rockets!
The more they raise their hands out there, the more they'll raise their hands in here.
Good Sports gives kids the lifelong benefits of sports by providing equipment to those most in need. Donate today, because kids who play do better.
It's a kindness. Pass it on.
Thank you.
It's the toughest ticket in Seattle this weekend. They've been on the streets outside since Friday for an early season set-to between old foes. Pick your favorite breed. Bulldog, they're pretty nasty. Or Husky, they're big and strong. These two old dogs will have at each other again tonight in an early season scrap that's become a cross-state brawl. The Huskies and the Bulldogs both come in tonight with teeth bared and thinking that they are the top dog. In the end, there'll be just one standing, so stand by. The fur is about to fly. We welcome you to the city of Seattle, Washington, and on this Sunday night in the state of Washington, there's only one place to be, and it's right here.